There we go.
You have an Elgato camera, right?
Yeah, I got the Elgato face cam.
Nice. Is it pretty good?
Yeah.
I mean, the quality's really good.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Okay. Thinking about my setup, man. Need to upgrade it a little bit.
Are you just using like the built-in camera?
No, it's an external.
Oh, okay.
But it was just one I got on Amazon for like $30.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. It was like it's okay. It's just not. It's okay. Not the best quality.
All right. There we go. All right. Are we good there? Episode 157.
So what?
So we're at 157, right?
I think we're gonna hit 200 this year.
Yeah, we should, right? Yeah.
52 weeks in a year. That means 48 left.
Yeah, we'll hit it.
Damn, math works out.
The math checks out. All right, let me swap this over here. Swap that over. All right, are you... Microphone up here.
Yeah, I'm getting... Oh. I was like, why is there echo?
Oh, did you have the Twitch stream up? I just had the same thing happen. I was going to say, Nick, I think something's going on. And then I was like, oh, it's Twitch. All right.
But yes, I'm ready.
Sweet.
To answer your question.
All right. Talk real quick.
Hello.
Okay. Let me turn that up. And then talk one more time.
Hello.
Cool. We're good. We should be good.
Yes.
All right, let's start this thing.
Do it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of A Gaming with the Bros Cast, episode 157. My name is Harrison. I am joined by my brother Nick. As always, Nick, how are you doing, buddy?
Doing good, man. Got my standing desk going.
Nice.
You can't tell if I look a little bit risen. He is risen today. You know?
I can tell because like the your stuff on the wall is a little bit higher today.
Yeah, my all my collection right here. I kind of like want to change it out every week. Like just kind of put
that'd be cool.
I need to change out the amiibo every week in line with the games coming out and stuff.
Yeah,
and
that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, have a little theme going. People
theme-a-roni.
love a theme. Little theme-a-roni? Sounds pretty nice.
So yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. Lots of news to talk about. Hogwarts Legacy Reviews. We're going to talk about Last of Us episode 4 here in a moment.
Yes, we are.
And then of course, I mean, we're like 99% sure tomorrow we're getting the announcement.
Okay, shut up.
So
Don't say 99%.
I'm tingling, Nick. I'm tingling. So we'll see what happens.
I am too. Get a little bit of a little booty tingle. But...
Yeah, I'm ready. I think I think Nintendo's like just trolling us because they think they tweeted out like a couple of games today, like just on their Twitter or whatever. I'm like, man, come on, just announce it for us. Just give it to us.
I know. I'm just like 9 o'clock goes by, 10 o'clock goes by, and then once 11 hits and nothing happens, I'm like, all right,
yeah, nothing's happening.
It's a node for today.
Yeah. But yeah, Nick, before we dive into The Last of Us episode 4, how was your week?
It's pretty good. Didn't really do too much. It's kind of a boring week, but yeah. Other than like we rented a U-Haul flatbed truck.
Nice.
Picked up a TV console and brought it from Chapel Hill. So that was fun. So we got some stuff, got some outdoor patio furniture. Put that together on Friday. So
Where are you putting the where are you putting the TV console at?
put it where I put it in the living room
Okay.
and replaced that the previous TV console and brought that one upstairs. So it's the old one is in my office and it has.
Gotcha.
Here, I'll flip it around and show you, but it has like some
Okay.
some amiibo, my special
Nice.
edition Elden Ring book, all that stuff.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
kind of building it out, you know.
Yeah, I want to get. This means nothing to the audio listener. Sorry, guys. But yeah, the little thing I have behind me, the little cubicle, I want to get one more and put it on this side.
Yeah.
So I can put like my amiibos and stuff over there and stuff like that.
Yeah, you need a spot for the amiibo.
Yeah, I do. I thought about maybe just reorganizing and taking the top part, or like the part that's part the not where the controllers are back here, but where like the little cubbies are, and put an amiibo there, and then just kind of reorganize them. But yeah, I can get another one right there and have it fit just nice. So
yeah, I watched your room tour video.
Yeah.
And you see a great video, by the way. I was like, even though I see your office all the time, like just looking at the screen, I was like really engaged. I was like, I want to see everything about this room.
Yeah,
and, I saw your
video
got
like over like 1,000 views. I was like, what? Why? I don't understand.
It's a good video.
Yeah. So, but I always like to do. I mean, that's the first time video I've done, but like I always get inspired when I watch other people's rooms, especially like small rooms like mine. So that was kind of my thought process. And plus, I mean, it's just cool. It's always fun showing off your stuff, right? I mean,
oh yeah, great cable management.
Yeah, I still got some work to do, but it's a lot better than it was.
I mean, given how many cords there are.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
I'd say that's pretty good.
Yeah, I've got so many cords, and I've got my Xbox down there too. So yeah, it's
because like you see so many videos talking about cable management, like, oh, here's like the best way to organize your cables, and they're working with like 4.
Exactly.
Cords. And it's like, well, of course, it's gonna look like immaculate once you're done with it. But
yeah, like you have like I've got my my 27-inch Mac, and that's it, because like Mac doesn't have like a desktop, so it's just the Mac. So it's super easy cord management with the Mac. So yeah.
But you have your PC, your TV, your Xbox, your Switch,
and then like all my like my USB hub, my light,
like all the auxiliary stuff.
Yeah.
No, I know what you mean. I struggle with cable management. I found a decent solution where there's only one like main cord coming from my desk to the wall, and everything is like underneath the desk on a power strip that's like screwed in, so it works. But yeah, I really enjoyed that video. but I saw your amiibo were like hidden away. I was like, no.
Yeah, they're hidden away at that point. Yeah, I gotta figure out something to do with them. I just got so many, man. I can't stop. Like I went to Target the other day. I found Byleth. I picked it up. I mean.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Did you see Sephiroth?
I did not. No.
Okay, good, because I got yours sitting out waiting.
I know. I'm excited.
I have your birthday present, and I'm really excited to give it to you.
Okay.
Yeah. So next time I'll see you, I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, pumped. But
yeah. Oh, speaking of, not, I don't know why I'm even saying speaking of, but have you officially purchased the GalaxyCon tickets, or is that just like a will be purchasing kind of thing?
I did purchase them.
You did? Okay. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, but
they confirmed. Brittany's really into Vampire Diaries, and they have one of the guys there.
Officially.
What day? Saturday.
Okay, that's what it's for.
Yeah. Paul Wesley, he's like the main guy, I think. In Vampire Diaries.
Mm-hmm.
So they got him. They haven't announced all the people yet, but
didn't they have someone from Vampire Diaries last year?
I don't think they did.
Or was that because I know Brittany was talking? She was saying she was like, all right, next year I'm going to go up to the table and talk to them.
I mean, there was like Tom Welling from like Superman. That he was there.
Yeah, that might have been it.
But I don't think there was anybody else. I mean, there was like,
might have been. Was it Supernatural?
No. Yeah, neither one of those was there.
Okay.
Sweet, but yeah, I'm excited. They're starting to announce people and stuff like that. So,
yeah,
I already told her, so I'm gonna set aside some money because it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. now that you know how expensive it is and like
Yeah.
what you need to spend your money on, then
Yeah. I mean,
it's a lot
it's really
easier.
like I really want just more stuff. I don't really care about like getting signatures and stuff from people
Hmm.
necessarily. Um, just because it's so expensive. I mean, if you go sit in line, it's like easily like $150 for like a photo op and have them sign something, which is
Yeah,
insane. But you know, it is what it is. But they had
and
like
I
a lot of
can.
cool like there was like this one Hollow Knight like pressed board that I really wanted to get and I forgot about it, and it was only like $40, and it was like a really nice like again like pressed um
Like a
board, and
wooden.
yeah, like a wooden um poster, and it was super nice.
Can you not get it? You can't get it online.
I probably can, but I cannot remember who sold it. I didn't
Oh,
get his card. He was like, yeah, he's like, you can even you know, buy it and we'll hold it for you. That way you don't have to carry it around the con. But then I just end up forgetting about it. So, but
yeah,
hopefully they're there again next year and I'll find it.
nice.
But yeah. Um, anything else you do this weekend or this week?
Nah, not really. How's your week?
It was good. It was kind of boring too. I didn't really do much. I am so, and I'm sure you are too. I am so ready for the warm weather. Like
Yeah, this week
the
was bad actually because it was just so gross.
yeah, it was just so nasty outside. I think the wintertime depression has like really hit me hard this year.
Mhm.
Um, because I mean I just like being outside and doing stuff, and especially that it gets you know dark early. I just feel like I'm immediately like just instantly tired when I get off work, and I've just been
Yeah, I
taking
don't
like
know.
more naps than than I do usually, and yeah, I'm just ready for the warm weather so I can do stuff.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know if other people are feeling it too, but I'm just feeling way worse
Yeah,
this winter
yeah, I just
than
feel
other ones.
really
I don't
lazy
know.
all the time.
Yeah, yeah, that's
So
what I mean.
um,
But it's ending soon, I
yeah,
think.
but you'll have your I mean you'll this will be like your first really real summer at your house, right? So
I know. I'm
that'll be
excited. That's
exciting.
why we got the furniture
Yeah,
for the patio, for the deck.
yeah, because
It's been
we
nice.
want to finish like our top railing of our deck, and then I want to get a new canopy, um, and get that ready because this gets pretty hot out there during the summer.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I you know, just a typical weekend. But Nick, let's jump into The Last of Us. I'm
The
excited to talk
Last of
about
Us.
it. So again, we're gonna be you know talking about every episode going forward. Full spoilers uh, for that particular episode and the other three potentially. You know, if we
Mhm.
have to go back and talk about it. But how did you like this one compared to the other three?
I really liked it. I didn't like it as much as the other three. I think it did a really good job of building Joel and Ellie's relationship, and
Yes,
it
yeah,
really pulled a lot from the games,
yeah. That like
which was really cool.
the whole like magazine scene was cut
Yeah,
and paste from the show
yeah,
or
that
from the
scene,
game.
and then of course when they actually get into the city and kind of get ambushed by the
Yeah,
Raiders, that was pretty close to what was in the game.
yeah, yeah. It's they were in
Um,
what Kansas City versus I think in the game it's
First
Pittsburgh.
Philly, or
Yeah.
yeah, Pittsburgh,
But yeah, I mean that scene was pretty spot on.
and that was
Um,
a cool scene too. Like that fight scene, it kind of felt like you were playing a game
exactly. I
in a cool way.
so this is my kind of my concern I guess about the show is,
Mhm.
and I thought this episode was great. I thought it kind of this is the first time where obviously like I would if I could binge a show I probably would or at least watch two or three episodes at a time.
Yeah.
Um, but this was the first one where I didn't feel satisfied at the end. Like it ended,
Yes.
you know, it ended with meeting Henry
Henry and
and
Sam.
Sam,
Yeah.
and then it just ends. And I felt I didn't feel satisfied at the end. I wanted more, which I mean I guess is a good thing, right? Um,
It's a setup episode.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. It was not necessarily a filler episode because it obviously it moved the plot, and we got to learn them. We got to see you know Ellie and Joel's relationship kind of flourish over that time. But so
Mhm.
my biggest concern is obviously like Last of Us is a pretty violent game, and part two is obviously even more just crazy
Very
violent.
violent.
I don't think Joel in the show is anywhere near as close to the violence level Joel in the game, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Not that I necessarily need to see violence, but the fact that like, a 20-year-old person like almost killed Joel if it wasn't for Ellie to step in.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. It's like, oh, you survived for this long, and you're gonna die to a
Yeah,
20-year-old.
and granted, I guess he caught him off guard, but I
Yeah.
just feel it. I feel like Joel in the game, it was more like aware of his surroundings than
Did
this Joel.
did Game Joel have trouble hearing out of his right ear, or is that a plot device just used in the show? Because I don't remember that.
I mean that it's a possibility. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Um, but I did like the fact that whenever they did sleep and stuff, like he was very much on guard, and even with like the final scene where he's putting like the glass down, but they still snuck in anyways. But
Yeah, it did explain why he was always sleeping on his right side,
yeah,
like at the beginning of the episode.
so yeah, that's like my only concern is like, I guess not
And
really concerned. I mean, I don't need to see like horrific violence on screen, but you know, The Last of Us is a very very violent game, and this Joel doesn't seem as
hardened.
as hardened, as fit for this world, I guess.
And maybe they haven't presented enough opportunities to show that yet. Like they've only had a few encounters up to this point, and I feel like there's going to be a moment where Ellie's, on the brink of death or something, or someone's about to kill Ellie, and Joel is just going to like unleash this monstrous side to him where, it's going to catch the viewers off guard, because they're gonna be like, well, I thought this was kind of like a good guy, but
it's like, no. Well, and
no.
they also do like that. Like in that episode, they explain that, they used to. She was like, how did you know that was an ambush? And he's like, well, I've been on both sides.
I did the same thing.
So it's just one of those things, and like also too, it's like, I feel like if they wouldn't have ambushed and they just had talked to them, like there would be no violence in that scenario, because those people didn't seem like necessarily horrible people. For the most part, I know Kathleen. I don't know. She had like a weird vengeance. It felt like a really weird vengeance against Henry. So we don't quite know what he did. I guess he got her brother killed or something like that. I'm sure we'll get more backstory, but that just seemed really like not forced, but kind of weird. I don't know.
They needed like they needed kind of like a big bad of the Raiders.
Yeah.
And they didn't really have that in the game, because they didn't really need to, because they were just, this like this horrible group of people that would attack you out of random. But in this, you kind of need like a main enemy, or a main face of the organization. And I think that's where Kathleen comes in, because she wasn't in the games.
So how many episodes do you think maybe this next episode, because it's supposed to air on Friday, it's not coming out on Sunday.
Yeah.
Since the Super Bowl, which is cool. Do you think they spend one more episode on this area and then they move on?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, that's my hope.
I think everything that's going to happen with them and Henry and Sam is going to happen in the next episode, and then they'll be on their way.
Okay.
Presumably to Wyoming.
Yeah. I wonder if they're gonna do like the time skip or anything like that.
Like when Joel is recovering.
Yeah.
Is that after Wyoming, or was that?
I believe that's after.
That was after, right?
That's after.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will.
I mean, because there's 5 episodes left, so one more episode in Kansas City, I guess I would imagine, and then
one in Wyoming.
Yeah, one in Wyoming when they meet Tommy.
Tommy.
Which I didn't know it until the end, but the one of the guys, the Kathleen's like right hand man is Tommy's voice actor. That's super cool that they do that.
I know, it's awesome.
And then I'm sure we'll meet up with what's his face in the next episode or two. Probably the rate like the ones after Wyoming, I imagine. Joel's voice actor, Troy Baker, we'll probably see his character in the next few episodes.
Yeah. Not to spoil too much about what comes ahead to those who haven't played the game, but I'm really excited for for how this season is going to end, and how what people are going to think of Joel specifically by the end of this season, because those who have played the game, like they kind of know, what the truth is, and what happens and what everyone's fate is. And I think
Yeah.
that's like what's really exciting for the people who have played the game. It's like you get to see all of this play out as a show, and that's really cool. I'm pumped. I cannot wait for Friday. I'm excited it's coming out, really.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, like I said, like it just ends so abruptly, and I just wanted more. That's really the only gripe I had with the episode for the most part.
Yeah, how would you rank this amongst the other three?
I would probably say it's the weakest out of all of them. But I mean, I knew we would eventually hit one episode where it's, and again, it's a strong episode. It's just, I don't think it's as good as the other three.
I saw a tweet that was like, this episode is a really good Walking Dead episode.
Yeah.
It might not be the greatest Last of Us episode, but it's a really good TV. It's a really good episode of TV.
Yeah. It's really solid.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, it gets like I said, it was like a relationship building episode, and it was funny hearing all of Ellie's stupid puns, whatever jokes.
Yeah,
and then at the very end, like Joel cracks up at one. That's like a really heartfelt moment between the two of them.
Yeah, I think it made everyone like Ellie more.
Yeah,
than they did in the first two episodes.
Yeah,
the first three.
And then like Joel, like whenever he saved her life, or whenever she saved his life, he like showed her how to use the gun and stuff. So that was like.
It was a lot of small moments.
Yeah.
I think
it was good.
Yeah, it was good.
All right, well let's dive into what we have been playing. You're still on Fire Emblem, right? Still pushing your way through that,
man. Still grinding. I'm on like chapter 22, no, chapter 23. I think there's like 26 chapters.
How many hours are you in the game?
38.
Okay.
And I'm playing on hard, so it definitely takes longer.
Right. Yeah.
Because you could spend 20 minutes on a single turn. Like I'm at the point where I use every single one of my characters when I fight a boss, which is so weird because like in a normal Fire Emblem game, you just send one. Like you could just send one unit to a boss because the boss is normally stationary. They're in their castle.
Yeah.
They're just chilling. They're not moving. So you could send like whatever unit you want in, and they can normally handle the boss to a certain degree. Or with this one, with the multiple health bars, with them moving around and kind of like trying to come at you, pretty much. Like there's just so much more strategy to it.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time.
Yeah, I mean once you kind of get somewhat near them, they kind of leave their post and will make their way around the map. So yeah, it's challenging. I mean, I plan on getting back into it this week, as I think I'm done with Dead Space for the most part.
Did you beat it again?
I did. I beat it twice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, tell me all about it. I want to hear about it.
Yeah. So this is probably my favorite remake of all time. It's incredible. Like everything, like just the way the graphic fidelity, the lighting, the voice acting is solid. The way they redid the characters to actually flesh them out and they feel like important part of the universe. I mean, just the atmosphere is incredible. The side missions that they add to the game were awesome and added more to the story. Yeah, I mean, and the combat just feels so good.
Feels really good.
I mean, if we're comparing to like the Callisto Protocol, like again, just being able to tap B and heal and just tap on the D-pad and instantly switch to your weapons. All the weapons feel really awesome. Like the Force gun actually feels useful this time around, and the stuff that you can do with that is awesome. Like it feels like this game's like shotgun, even like the flamethrower, like it just feels really really cool to use.
Yeah, it feels like every weapon kind of has a purpose.
Yeah, and they all have,
and that's how the original felt. But
yeah, exactly. And they all have like alternate abilities, which you can upgrade and make the abilities even stronger. Which I don't know if they had that. I know they had like an upgrade path in there in the first one, but I don't know if they had where
No,
it
they didn't
increased
have those
the
like
abilities. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, and then yeah, just going through because I beat it on medium difficulty,
Mhm.
and just all the minor changes they did just to make the gameplay better, and the way they kind of rearranged how things happened in the story just felt way more
Like organic.
yeah, organic.
Almost.
And then the fact that you can walk on one side of the ship to the other without necessarily having to use the tram. Obviously, the tram is
Yeah.
faster, but just they didn't. I mean, they didn't have to do that, and they did, and it feels really good. So then, as soon as I beat it, I hopped back into New Game Plus and did my run with just the plasma cutter, and the plasma cutter is it almost feels OP once you completely um, upgrade it. Like I was just decimating enemies with it. And I came back and did, and I found like I did like the alternate ending, I guess, or secret ending. Did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Shit.
just
Nice.
yeah, it feels really awesome game. Really awesome game.
Yeah, I got to play more of it this week. I got up to chapter 6, so I did that section with the turrets,
Okay.
the automated turrets,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, that's much better.
Yeah.
It was way better than the original, and it's just like things like that where they just improved on like these tiny things that in the original like they didn't detract from the entire experience, but if you were to play it again, you'd be like, oh yeah, I hated this part, and they fixed a lot of that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Like the turret section was horrible.
Mhm.
It was just like on screen clicking towards the asteroid, and it would destroy it. Um, just being able to and like the attention to detail. Like if you go outside into space and you come back in, your suit will like dethaw and like water will drip
Yeah,
off. Like it like just the little attention to detail stuff is truly incredible. And then the fact that they added the zero G gravity instead of having to like
yeah,
bounce from like one spot to another
so smart.
was awesome. Um, like stasis and uh, um,
The kinesis.
kinesis feel better to use, and they actually feel like it actually does something in combat. Where I mean, stasis definitely always did, but kinesis was not very good in the original Dead Space. And it got better in Dead Space 2. So yeah, EA Motive they knocked it out of the park. They did it in like 2.5 years. So
Crazy.
it's insane. I don't know. I'm getting kind of tired of every like AAA game taking like 4 to 5 years to make. And granted, I know they didn't do it from the ground up. They had like a
They had a found
they
yeah,
had a
like
foundation to
yeah.
build upon. So obviously they can do it a little bit faster. But just what they did in that time is incredible. And obviously Dead Space 2 and 3 hold up a little bit better than 1 did. So I don't know if I necessarily want them to do like a reimagining of Dead Space 2, or maybe just do I don't know a Dead Space 4, or maybe do their own version of like a Dead Space 2. I don't know. Whatever they do, I hope they continue on with Dead Space because I love this franchise, and they just knocked it out of the park.
I think they will. I think this game is going to sell. I think it's selling really well.
Yeah,
I think it has stellar reviews, and it's already building off of an already popular franchise. Like,
yeah,
I don't know why this couldn't be a success, in my opinion.
yeah. I mean, I don't see a world where this game is not on my top 10 at the end of the year. I know that's crazy, and we've got a lot of games to go through, and a lot of games, obviously Zelda. We've got RE4, which looks incredible. A lot of people don't like that rain.
The rain does it's a little jarring. It's got that GTA trilogy vibe to it. It's a little too substancy.
Yeah,
it's a little too goopy looking.
Hopefully, I mean, either maybe they can fix that, or hopefully it's just like a very small portion of the game.
Yeah, but that looks
get,
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I get why they added that just to add like some atmosphere and intenseness to that area. But yeah, hopefully it's just a very small portion of the game. But yeah, Dead Space. I mean, horror fans this year, we are eating so good. Like like what you tweeted earlier was, we got Silent Hill, RE4, Dead Space. What else we got? Alan Wake. Yeah, that's gonna be a survival horror game now. Yeah, I mean, we're just eating so good, and Dead Space was. I did not. I mean, I knew I would like it from what I've seen, but I did not expect to be blown away, as I've been with this game.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
And this like playing this just reminded me of A Hill That I Will Die On, and that's that Dead Space has the coolest guns
Oh yeah, yeah,
ever. Like just man, it's such an innovation just having that like aiming, having the three reticle aiming and being
yeah,
able to pivot.
yeah,
That's just so cool. Like I don't know. Seeing that in 2008, 2007, where you had to like dismember
yeah.
the what are they called? The necromorphs. God,
Yeah, I mean,
so
there's a
cool.
moment in the game where you, I don't want to spoil anything, but you have to destroy a bomb, and Isaac says that he's not like a nuclear engineer. He's like, well, you didn't expect to be dismembering aliens with your mining tools, so get at it, Isaac. And I was like, yeah, I mean that's what it is. That was like such the unique thing back in the day is like he's not like a military person.
Yeah,
These aren't guns meant to kill people, other than like the pulse rifle. I mean, but uh, so I mean, it was really unique back in the day, and it still feels really unique now. And they tweaked the guns so they all feel really important. Um, and
yeah,
even so, like even when I was going through my second run, I was like, man, I really want to play with the force gun, but I couldn't. And you know, I think that speaks a lot for what they did with the guns in this or tools in this game.
yeah. Like, how did you deal with the little guys without the flamethrower?
Like the little like ones that come out of like the big bellied.
Yeah,
I I used like stasis and just stomped him
just let
the
them on
best
that.
I
Oh,
could.
okay. I
And
forgot you could stomp them.
if you
Right.
if you shoot the limbs off of that guy, he'll just die. But sometimes it just you just can't do it. So,
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah,
incredible game.
yeah.
it's just amazing.
It's really great so far.
I almost started it over again and did like the no die run, but I don't know if I could do that to myself.
Have you played through on a harder difficulty yet?
I have not. No, I just
Okay.
medium was the highest one, but
Yeah.
and there's not really like in Dead Space 2, there's like the eyeball scene where you're and like if you do that wrong, it can instantly kill you. There's not any really scenes like that in Dead Space, but there are some sections where it's very possible to die easily, and I just don't know if I can do that to myself.
Yeah. I mean, I've died a few times for sure.
Yeah, I mean I died a couple times just going through on easy, so um, but there like I think I ran into one of those like the wall monsters, so they got like the tentacles coming out. If you
Hmm.
get too close, like they'll instant kill you if you're not paying attention. So
Yeah.
that happened to me
It's
once or twice.
so cool too, because like every time you feel confident with the amount of ammo that you have, like over the next 5 minutes, you just
Yeah,
deplete all of it.
I mean by the end of that game, I had like over 400 plasma energy bullets or
Really,
whatever. Yeah,
on the second playthrough.
because I was just buying them and had them. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, super cool. Hey, what's going on, Perp?
Oh, loving it. Loving it
Nick,
so far.
let's switch over and then we'll you talk about some more some hi-fi.
Yeah.
Sweet.
We'll be right back.
Right back. All right, we are
All right.
back.
All right.
Yeah, Nick, tell me more about Hi-Fi Rush. I need to try this game for sure.
You do. You need to try it because I'm having a blast. I
Awesome.
did. I knocked the difficulty down from hard to medium,
Okay.
and primarily because the checkpoints aren't great,
Okay.
and I would be like three-fourths of a way through a fight that had like multiple spawns of enemies, and I would die, and then I'd have to like restart outside of the area and then go back in and launch a cutscene that I could skip. But I mean, it just kind of took too long. I really just wanted to experience the game, so knocked it down. But been having a lot of fun with it. It's overall just like a really like feel good game. Like
That's what I've heard.
the
Yeah.
the colorfulness of it and just the atmosphere and the characters. Like all the characters are really great. I love the main character. I think he's like how to write a funny video game character 101 because the timing is just like that of like of an anime or just like of any animated show,
Yeah.
which I feel like a lot of video games don't follow that cadence, and more often than not the timing of jokes kind of falls flat
Yeah.
because the game kind of relies on you to push dialogue forwards, whereas with this game they nail the timing of everything, and it feels like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
But
Sweet. Well,
it's a
I'm glad it's good. I'm glad it's doing well, like sales wise and
yeah.
in review wise. I heard I was listening to like the IGN's Xbox podcast. They said that this thing's been in development like since like 2017, which is kind of crazy. But
pre-acquisition.
Yeah, pre-acquisition. So this is not necessarily a fruit of the labor of like Game Pass and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, glad Xbox got a win with this.
Yes, a much needed win.
And it was I don't know who decided to shadow drop it, but I don't know if that's what Phil Spencer's doing. I have no idea, but genius, whoever did, whoever was in charge of that.
It's just so perfect. Like, oh, this piques my interest. Oh shit, it's available today.
Yeah, I mean, because of course it need marketing. Like it got its marketing right there. Like everybody was like, oh, yeah, that looks really awesome. Oh, I could play it in an hour. Sweet, let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like 5 chapters in, 5 tracks in.
Okay.
I mean, I'm kind of like doing one chapter at a time between Dead Space and Hi-Fi, and it's really cool because I can switch instantaneously between them with whatever what do you call it? Quick resume.
What was it?
With quick resume, I can just like switch between the games. So I would play a chapter of Dead Space and then play a chapter of Hi-Fi Rush. Very different
yes.
types of games, but yeah, really enjoying Hi-Fi Rush and
sweet.
Yeah, I think my goal is that I'm gonna finish Engage, then I'm gonna finish Dead Space, then I'm gonna finish Hi-Fi.
Okay. Cool.
There's not too much coming out.
Yeah, Dead Space took me about 12 hours for my first run, and my second one took me about 8 hours, I think.
Okay.
Because I went back and like did because you have to like find there's like a bunch of marker fragments you have to do to get the secret ending. So I was doing that stuff, but and I did all the side missions in my first run too. So that probably took me like 2 hours or so to do that. But
nice.
Yeah, not a super long game, but very fun. Very fun.
Good to hear. I like a shorter game.
Yes. Yeah, those are always nice.
Yeah.
All right, Nick. Any final thoughts on what you've been playing or anything else?
Nah, man. All great games. All good games in January.
Sweet.
Been fun.
All right. Well, let's dive into the news. We'll start talking about Halo and 343. So they had over 90 layoffs. Just with the all the layoffs Microsoft had and stuff like that. And it was also confirmed, I guess, that back sometime last year, or they're switching from like their engine, the Slipstream engine, or Slipspace engine. Is it Slipspace? Slipspace. And they're moving over to Unreal. They kind of also confirmed, I guess, that they're not going to be having any more campaign content for Infinite, and never had any plans, from what these reports have stated. And
kind of weird.
I don't know how I feel, because I think you and I both, we both really loved Halo Infinite. We loved like the campaign. We loved the open world. I mean, that grappling hook is still one of the best grapple hooks in gaming. It was so fun. And the multiplayer was, it had a lot of desyncing issues. And obviously that after, in December of 21, when they had that big team battle issue that was issue for like a month and some change, which was crazy.
For a long time.
Beside that, the multiplayer I think was the best Halo's ever been in a long time. There just wasn't content to come out. They just couldn't get content out fast enough. They had like the really long like season 1 and really long season 2. We're getting ready to get season 3 next month, and I don't even know what the plan is going forward for this game. So I wanted to get your thoughts on, if are they going to reboot this game, completely and move on to Unreal, because maybe they can just develop content faster in Unreal. Um,
Probably, they probably can.
that's my I guess that's my thing, is maybe they can just develop maps and modes and stuff faster in Unreal than they can in their own engine. I mean, because like Fortnite, I mean, they just, granted, I think it's a way bigger team, but I mean, they just push content out constantly, whether it's new guns, modes, items, skins, whatever it is. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm really bummed out, because I really wanted more campaign stuff, but Forge had just came out, and that seemed like it was doing really well. Like the things I've seen in Forge are insane. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, what do you want from Halo going forward? I guess is my question to you.
Well, I guess like the underlying issue is like Halo as a series has never had this like drip feed content
Yeah.
expectation that exists now. And like Halo 5 was it kind of came out on the cusp of that change in expectation. Because that was like pre Fortnite. That was pre, all these live service games. But
Yeah.
and I feel like Halo Infinite in a way was kind of built around that same logic of, hey, we'll put out content sometimes, but it's not going to be like a constant release of content. And then, they release Halo Infinite, and of course they have like their battle pass and everything, but then they see player numbers drop faster than they expected.
Yeah.
It's like, shit, like, what are we going to do? Like, we don't even have like a dignified roadmap of sorts.
Yeah.
So then they, say, hey, like we have more seasons planned. Our seasons are going to be like 4 or 5 months long, which is like way too long for a live service game.
Super long. Yeah.
So like, I don't know. At this point, I think it might be beneficial to just kind of reboot the series, because it's a lot harder to bring new players to an old game than it is to bring players to a new game.
Yeah.
And like, especially if they're developing in Unreal, and if they can make content faster.
Yeah. I mean, because there's also like a rumored, I think they're called like Tanaka or something like that, but it's like certain affinities, like battle royale mode.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I don't know. I mean, especially with all these other live service games we'll talk about in a moment shutting down, like, do we need another battle royale? Do we? I don't know what I want from Halo. Okay, my thing is with Halo, they have such a cool universe. I want more like small things. Like I want more like an ODST2, or like allow them to experiment. Like again, when I was listening to the Xbox show on IGN, they were talking about like doing like a horror game for Halo, like focus like you play as like a Marine or like a squad of Marines that discover the Flood for the first time or something like that. Like that could be really cool and scary, because the Flood are like pretty terrifying, but when you're in a Spartan suit, like it doesn't really matter. It's not really that scary. So I think they could do a lot of really interesting things with the Halo universe that doesn't necessarily have to be the next Halo iteration. And they don't have to put multiplayer in it. But multiplayer wise, I don't know what I want. Like maybe more maps, maybe like at a faster pace. Would be the one thing that I really care for. Like the battle pass is cool and all. I don't really think like the items they were putting in that battle pass were really like that intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if like, I mean, they have in Overwatch 2, they just announced like the One Punch Man collaboration. They have like a skin for that. So I don't know if I want to see like Dragon Ball Z or something like in Halo. Like I feel like that would just be very weird to see. But also, why not? I mean, I think that could be really interesting. But multiplayer wise, like, I mean, maybe a spin on battle royale could be interesting. I don't know, but I guess just more maps at a frequent. More, yeah. Just
would you take Forge maps?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that's what the kind of the plan was to for them to have Forge and have the community come in, make these really great Forge maps, and they would put them in like a playlist, or they would add them into the queue of of Team Slayer and stuff like that. Like I thought that was gonna be the plan going forward, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's hard though, because like even if you have someone make the map for you, you still have to
Play test it, make
build
sure it's
it. You have to play
balanced and
test
stuff.
it,
Yeah,
build it around all the game modes.
yeah,
Unless you just said, hey, this is a team. This is just a Team Slayer map.
yeah. I mean, I think that could be really cool, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I
it
don't know.
sucks because like the multiplayer is like the gameplay is the best it's ever been.
Yeah, yeah. The gameplay is incredible. Like when it works, it works and it feels really good and it's smooth. But yeah, I don't know. I I feel like Halo is kind of stuck in the past, and all these new gamers that are maybe not new, but the gamers that play Warzone and Fortnite that are constantly getting updated with battle passes
Mhm.
and this and that. Like Halo just was never that, but also I mean I guess times are changing, so like they gotta be in order to thrive and make money. So I mean I get
Yeah,
it, but
it just feels like they're always catching up.
yeah, hey, I miss the old days of just buying like a map pack and being satisfied for 6 months. You know?
But now, like now, your brain is wired different.
Yeah. But see, I
Yeah.
don't think mine is like I don't. But I don't play Warzone. Like I don't play a lot of these multiplayer games. I don't need, and I don't only play these games. Like a lot of people just play those games and that's it.
Mhm.
You know, and I play everything. So like, if I jump back, if I don't play Halo for 3 weeks, and I jump back into it, and there's nothing new, I'm like, okay, well, I'll play a few matches and then I'll be good. And that's all I need. But I'm not spending any money other than like the battle pass. So like, if a lot of people are doing the
Yeah.
same thing, then what's the point? But also, there's no incentive to buy anything because I don't feel like any of the skins they released are really that cool. I think they're kind of overpriced for the most part. So
Yeah. I
it's
think
weird,
maybe
man.
I don't know what you did I don't know what you do to fix it, especially on like with all the news of all these live service games shutting down their servers. Like I don't want that to happen to Halo. I don't want them to just shut down their servers because their player numbers aren't up. Like
Yeah,
I don't know. Like I don't think they would. I don't think they would ever shut down their servers. Like they still have the Master Chief Collection running. They still have Halo 5. Like you can always jump in and play.
yeah,
But man, it's a fear of like these just regular multiplayer games shutting down. I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah,
Because you don't have regular multiplayer games anymore. You have games as a service
yeah,
that are constantly drip feeding content. So there's not just like this. Yeah, there doesn't exist like this little space for like normal casual multiplayer games. It's
yeah,
all like something you have to invest in.
yeah.
Like you
Especially
have to,
especially now that it's their multiplayer is free to play. They've got to
yeah,
make money to kind of justify that. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird, man. I don't like it. I like but again, like Xbox is, or I mean, Halo is Microsoft's like big franchise, and the way they've just stumbled on this thing, ever since
I'm not
Bungie
a
left,
fan.
really, ever since Reach, like, Halo Force campaign was really good. The multiplayer was not so great,
Yeah,
and then, well, I think the multiplayer was fine. I think no, actually the multiplayer was good, but then Halo 5 came out, campaign sucked, multiplayer was really good, and then in between that was the Master Chief Collection, and they completely fumbled that out of the bag with how bad that multiplayer was for a very long time. And now they've got it fixed, and it's great, and it's a really cool package, and like a celebration of all those games. But yeah, man, like ever since Bungie departed, it just has not felt the same.
well, yeah, and then you have Infinite, which had a great campaign,
Yeah,
and
and the multiplayer
like
was great.
and it had a great start too. Like the
Yeah,
multiplayer came off, it came out hot.
yeah, I was obsessed for like a month playing that game.
Yeah,
And then because I was defending it, I was like, I don't need anything else. And then like a month later, I was like, yeah, I kind of want some more maps. I don't know.
because there were only like 8 maps, 10 maps, something
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
the thing too. There wasn't like a million maps. Like why couldn't they bring in old maps? Like build old maps and have those ready to go. I don't know if it's just that engine that caused them to be so slow with it. I don't know if it's just poor management on 343 side on Microsoft. I mean, we talked about that before in the past with
Mhm.
management, and that's probably the case. What it was, I don't know exactly, but yeah, it's still a bummer.
And it launched with either you play Big Team Battle
Yeah,
or you play a grab
exactly.
bag of game modes. You couldn't play Slayer. Like, what the hell? Like,
Yeah,
why
that that
couldn't you
was
just
that was
play
crazy
Slayer?
too. That was crazy too. Yeah, I could see where like maybe they wanted like for newcomers to like get a experience at everything, but I don't know, man. Do that for like the first week and then open it up or something like that.
It's almost like they were shocked that people wanted to just play Slayer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind capture the flag and stuff like that, but I want to know that I'm going into that. So I don't know.
Yeah, that
I
was kind of
I,
a
I would
mess.
be and I also really like where the story was going with Halo. Like I don't necessarily want them to just reboot it altogether, but I don't know. It's a weird thing because like Halo is like their flagship thing, and like the show is not that great, so it's like just Halo is just not where I feel like it should be. So
Yeah, it's hard to make a Halo show.
it is, yeah, it is. All right, Nick, I'm gonna go put Kellen to bed real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. I still need to get back and watch that Halo show. I watched like 2 episodes. I fell off.
All right. Any last thoughts on Halo, Nick? I want more. I definitely want more. I just
Yeah, I want more campaign content.
yeah. Yeah, that was the
I,
biggest bummer that come out of that is
like you guys didn't have that planned at all. Like it wasn't even a thought.
yeah. I mean they probably did, but then once that big team battle thing happened, like that really just
Really set him back.
it's really set him back, and then but because that was such a strong start too, but
I
it
mean,
is what
that's
it
also
is.
the Game Pass problem of adding campaign content isn't really a value add.
That is true.
Adding multiplayer content, potentially getting more people to buy Battle Pass, like
But see, I would pay for
that's
if they were to release like a $20 like campaign add on, I'd totally
yeah.
spend that
I
money.
mean, I would too.
Totally spend it. Especially that I'm getting it essentially for free.
Mhm.
Um, all right, we'll move on from Halo.
Should we jump into the live service stuff?
Yeah, let's
While
do it.
we're
Let's do it because that
okay.
kind of plays a part into it. So yeah, this last week has just been a crazy number of games getting shut down.
Freaking graveyard.
Rumbleverse being one of them. Apex Legends Mobile, Knockout, which was like that dodgeball game, and Battlefield Mobile. I totally forgot Battlefield Mobile and Apex were even a thing, which goes to
Yeah,
show maybe that's why they got shut down.
that's why I shut down.
because like
There's two people playing against each other.
yeah, and as someone who follows the game industry pretty heavily, and I forgot about them, like that's probably not great. But and I didn't play really any of these at all either. I know Rumbleverse was like kind of the really unique one out of the bunch. It was like the battle royale like melee game.
Like the wrestling game.
Yeah. And I heard it was doing really well, but evidently not good enough to sustain it to be, to stay active. But yeah, I think you tweeted out that we're just kind of in this new renaissance of like single player games again. I know they've always been there, whether it's, we get it from like our indie side, but I feel like AAA companies are realizing that, hey, these games sell really well. Like Jedi Fallen Order sold well, and you'll have to warrant a sequel, and I know that'll sell. We'll talk about Hogwarts Legacy. I feel like that's going to be a huge IP
game.
A huge game. Probably boosted by a lot of the people trying to cancel the game, and that's why it's got that's why it's got a huge boost. And we'll talk about that here in a moment, but yeah, we're just seeing a lot of these live service games. It's unsustainable. Again with Halo, and like I mentioned, at what point do we want every single multiplayer game to have like a battle pass? Like that is just not doable.
No,
in this day and age.
It's not. It's spread too thin, I think. 2020 and 2021, I think I tweeted about this, but like in 2020 and 2021, like everyone was kind of inside and they started picking up video games. They started playing with their friends as a way to connect. And, of course you get into all these live service games with battle passes and you try like new battle royale games like Rumbleverse and Knockout. Is it called Knockout? It's like Knockout City, something
Knockout
like that.
City, yeah.
Knockout City. You try those new games, and you and your friends try them together. You maybe play for a few weeks, and you fall off. But you end up going back to your main game, like Fortnite or Apex.
Yeah,
and there's not room for all these games, and I think no one realized that back in 2020.
Yeah. Well, what'd you tweet out? You said like the industry was kind of correcting itself.
Yeah, it's going back to what it was pre-pandemic, and I think that makes sense. Like, there definitely doesn't need to be all these live service games.
No, and like I did like a YouTube video about it a few days ago. I don't want these games to fail. Like I don't want companies to lose out on money and developers to not be able to sustain stuff. But like, there's just too many of them. And when you've got like your big 3 Fortnite, Warzone, and like Apex, and then maybe PUBG in there. I know PUBG is really popular too. Like your big 4. Like it's really hard to divert attention away from those games. You may divert it for a few months or so, and I think that's what happened is they just got really popular and they started staffing up. Like we've seen a lot of like tech companies and other companies over the pandemic staffing up heavily, and then 2 years later, like, oh, actually, no,
we don't need everybody here.
Yeah, we don't need these extra 1,000 people. And yeah, I think that's just one of those things where, companies get excited and they see there's a new way of making money with these live service games and these multiplayer battle royales, and they probably made some money for a while, but then, everyone goes back to what they were playing before, and that's the big 4 or whatever. So,
because like when you're playing a live service game with a battle pass, you want to invest, you want to commit your time to one of those games.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially with like, I think Halo's the only battle pass that you cannot go back to. Well, that you can go back to.
Oh yeah, all the other ones you can't.
Yeah,
if you don't play,
which made me really mad because I had bought the Fortnite battle pass and like I wanted to unlock Darth Vader, and then I forgot about it and I stopped playing, and then I went back and it was like the new season, and I was like, well, shit, man, like I paid for that, like why can't I play it? But man, it is what it is. So.
Yeah, I'm about to experience the same thing with Marvel Snap. I think this might be my last season.
Really? They're getting ready to add MODOK, right?
Yeah, they're adding MODOK, but I only got to level 35 in this season, or rank 35. And like I'm at a point where the grind is just a little bit too much. Like you're not unlocking new cards. every few levels, like you're opening up a collector's cache,
Okay.
and it has like a 3% chance of getting a card in
Mm.
pool
Okay.
4, like a 0.01% chance of getting a card in pool 5. So like, I want to get Thanos, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like that's going to take forever to even pull him. So now it's basically like a loot box game. And
Gotcha.
I like getting the new cards. I think that's what's exciting to me.
That was the best part about it. It's like every level, pretty much every level or every other level, you were getting some sort of new card to,
Yeah,
transform
like
or
every
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I these multiplayer games, I don't know if it's just me getting older, and I don't want to like my time. I want to put into just really quality single player stuff. But
Mhm.
yeah,
I
I just don't
mean,
have time for it anymore.
what are you looking forward to the most this year? Like Zelda, Resident Evil 4,
Yeah, I
like
mean,
all single player games.
yeah, all single player stuff. Like I don't think there's anything multiplayer that I'm excited for that I can think of. Um, maybe uh Redfall, but like I'll probably just end up playing that more single player than anything. I mean, we'll probably play some co-op, I would imagine, a little bit, but it's hard to like figure out time to play
I don't know how people do
games.
it. I really don't.
And unless you do it for a living and like you stream it all the time, like I don't know that I can invest all that. There'll definitely be like some like Sunday, like I played like 5 hours of Dead Space, but I didn't have anything else to do. Um, Kellen was
And
occupied,
yeah,
and I was fine. But most days, like he wants to play with me or something like that. It's hard to carve out time for stuff. And if I do have the time, I want to play single player.
yeah, and it's like we do this once a week, and we set aside time, and our our families know about it and everything.
Yeah.
Like we can't. I don't know if we could do that another night. Like okay, and then Tuesday night is the night that we game for 3 hours together.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, because we have
yeah,
to Brittany usually on Mondays like we eat salads, so like it's pretty quick dinner to make, but like
mm,
I feel like she's always kind of like semi rushed to get dinner done so I can do my podcast. So yeah, if I was to be like, hey, actually, I'm gonna, every Wednesday now we're playing games like at this specific time, but I think we would probably do it a little bit later time than our normal podcast hour, but
yeah. For those listening, what do you do?
yeah,
How do you
give us
game
some
with your
advice.
friends?
How do you, because I've got kids, so it's a little bit more difficult for me,
Yeah,
but
and I don't even have kids, but
it's still
I
difficult.
feel like I don't have time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you and your wife have full-time jobs, and then when you're not working, you're doing stuff together, and you got a
yeah,
house,
cooking
and you're
and
cooking and doing projects, and yeah, it adds up. It adds up eventually.
suddenly it's 9 o'clock, and you're like, all right,
Yeah, you're tired. You're like, all right,
that's yeah.
let's watch some TV or something.
It's like yeah, it's like at that point, I don't want to. I don't want to have to like engage with like another person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that might sound very antisocial of me, but like
I'm the same way. Like the pandemic has crushed my social skills. Just, it's horrible.
it's like I just want to like curl up and play Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
I don't want to play Warzone,
No,
Fortnite.
that sounds horrible. Oh, no.
Man, are we? What's wrong with us, man?
I saw a clip on TikTok. It was like, I guess they added uh proximity chat
Oh God.
to Warzone, and like this one guy had downed this guy, and he was just saying obscene things, and I was like, yeah, like the good old days of the Xbox 360 Call of Duty lobbies, like that's exactly how it felt. So, oh God,
Damn, why would they have proximity chat? That's such a bad
to
idea.
Warzone, yeah, out of all games.
Right, right.
Ugh. Let's next up we've got it was rumored that Sony was cutting. I think it was based off like a Bloomberg report, but it was rumored that Sony was cutting about half. They were expected to ship about 2 million units of the PSVR 2, down to 1 million. And then Sony came out and said, no, that's actually not true. Like we see a high demand. Like our PlayStation customers are looking forward to it. which could be like a half truth because shipping a unit versus actually already having it made is different. So if they're seeing like maybe low pre-order numbers, the worst thing that they can do is ship them all to these stores, and it's going to take up room on the shelves, which retailers don't want that. And then if you go into like a Best Buy and you see like 50 copies of the PSVR 2, you're like, why is it not selling? Is it trash? Like, it just puts a bad image on there. So we don't know the exact truth to this, but I could see it maybe being it that way. But yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know what the hype is for, like, I don't know where the hype is for PSVR 2, I should say. Like, I'm not interested in it because I bought PSVR 1. I played a good bit of that, and like probably my most memorable experience was playing Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
But then after that I kind of fell off, and then got the Oculus Quest 2, and that's really fun, and I still play that sometimes.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the draw is of spending another, is it $500?
It's $550.
Spending an additional $550 to be able to play Horizon, Call of the Mountain, and a few games that are already available on Quest 2 and other VR.
I mean, the hardware itself looks, I mean, like having like the OLED screen and stuff, like it looks like it's going to be really cool. But again, it's tethered to the console. Like it's the one plug, I guess, to give it props this time versus
the 10.
Yeah,
the
like
last one.
Yeah, that was just like you have to like spend 30 minutes setup time. Yeah, just to set the thing up. So I mean that's obviously like a benefit, but yeah. I don't know what the draw, like I don't know what the big, I don't understand if there's any hype at all. Like I just don't know why. And maybe that's just me not enjoying VR, and maybe if I enjoyed it I would be more excited, but like I think the Oculus Quest 2 is just fine as a piece of hardware.
Yeah.
I don't, I would, if someone's going to do it, like maybe Valve, PlayStation would be the next best company to like maybe shake up the VR industry and give us like a really cool, solid experience. But they had their chance with the one, and they didn't do that. So I just
they just abandoned it.
Yeah, I just don't know if I would trust them if they're going to do the same thing with this.
No, I think they're similarly gonna abandon this, or they're not really gonna release a lot of content until a year from now when the PS5 is sold a lot more, since it's more widely available now. Like you're seeing it in stores.
Yeah.
So maybe they're kind of banking on people picking up PS5s and then eventually picking up the PSVR 2 as well. So they're they have a couple of games at launch that they're putting out, like Horizon and Gran Turismo, but who knows what's going to happen after that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't trust them with continuing to release games on the PSVR 2. I think they're just trying to build a platform. I don't know. I don't know. It's a gamble, right? Like it's an expensive accessory to an expensive console.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a hard sell.
Yeah, it's more than the base PS5 or like the higher end PS5. Yeah, and I would imagine that. I mean, I don't know. They're kind of like you said, like their layout of games in the next year, or if we even know. But they have a bunch of games that launch, and then it's just gonna be silent for a year and some change until like some bigger stuff comes out. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
it's definitely one of those like wait and see kind of things, and wait for games. But I mean, if you're excited for it, I mean, dive in. I mean, like it's fine. But I just don't see the appeal based off of their history with the first one.
Yeah.
But Call of the Mountain does look cool. I mean, like as a VR experience, it does look like an interesting game.
It's cool. It's gonna review well. People are gonna call it
the best VR
VR game. Yeah. Yep. But it's not gonna change anything.
No, I don't think so. Let's dive into Hogwarts Legacy Reviews. They dropped early this morning. Sitting at an 85 right now on Metacritic. So
pretty good.
Pretty solid. That's kind of what I expected, and I think what most people expected to review as.
I can't tell if it's a higher score because of nostalgia and people just liking the Harry Potter franchise, because like
Yeah,
personally I'm not super interested in this game. I think the world kind of looks a little drab.
yeah,
Uh, and that's it's mainly the color scheme. Like
yeah,
it feels like it kind of looks like Forspoken in that regard, where like the world just kind of looks it's
yeah.
ugly to look at.
Sonic
It makes me
Frontiers.
want to go, yeah, it makes me want to go play a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't tell if like this game is actually really good or if people just are fueled by the nostalgia. I don't know. What do you think? Are you excited about this? Do you think it looks
I do want to play it. I think it looks pretty cool, and from what the reviews seemed, it seemed like it's a solid like wizard RPG that everyone kind of always wanted, I guess. Um,
mm,
I thought it would review a lot worse. I thought whoever they had review it would
factor in?
factor in the whole transphobia thing and J.K. Rowling, and we haven't really talked about it on the show before, just because we try to stay out of that stuff. But it's all the stuff that I've seen on Twitter and all these people trying to cancel. And look, your views on it are absolutely valid. And if you don't want to support a game, I 100% agree, and I get it. But when you come after people and you're calling them being transphobic and you're calling them these names and telling them they cannot play this game or they're a shitty person, that's where I draw the line. That's really where I have to draw the line with it. And again, that's my own point of view, because also with the Blizzard Activision stuff, when all the accusations are coming out about the rape culture in Blizzard and Activision, nobody boycotted Call of Duty. Nobody boycotted World of Warcraft, and those are a little bit different things. But where was that energy? You know,
Well, there was some calls to boycott Activision
yeah, but
games, but
not like this, not like this, and it's been crazy. This, and I feel like this cancel boycott thing. I mean, I think it just boosted the sales of this game tremendously. Um, even to the point where like I wasn't even really that interested in this game, and I'm still not gonna go pick it up day one, but I was kind of more intrigued to buy it because I just all the negativity that I was getting, and people just bashing other people for just wanting to play the game. Like you can separate the art from the artist. You know, you can do that.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem I have, is like none of the developers.
And if you can't, that's fine, and then just don't support it, because J.K. Rowling, she is going to get royalties from this game. She owns the property. She's a very smart businesswoman and made all these decisions when she sold the rights to the movies and stuff. So she's going to get royalties, and I get it. But the developers made this as a love for like the universe, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's not, none of it is coming directly from her. Like none of like there's no creative input from her. It's all from these like talented developers that want to create something in the Harry Potter universe. And like I think from what I've read, like they've done a great job of being very inclusive of all kinds of people. Like they have like trans characters in the game, and
that's the thing, is like, did people like I didn't honestly know that, but did people, was that like something they held secret? I don't know if people just didn't know that. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, like they have one of the best like
Nick,
character
let's pause it for 1 second, and then we'll come back. Okay, continue on. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah. So they had a bunch of different type of characters, and then their character creation options were just like so realistic.
Yeah.
and inclusive of everybody. So I feel like the developers have gone above and beyond to show that they to show through their game that they're not in support of what J.K. Rowling is preaching, essentially.
Yeah.
And like I feel like everyone's kind of glossing over that when they're talking about this game. It's like, oh, it's related to her, so you can't play it, but
yeah,
it's not her game.
Yeah, and like I said, like I get it. Like I understand. Like if you feel very strongly about it, then don't buy the game, and maybe, I don't know, donate the $60 for that game to like a charity or something like that. But again, like going back and bashing people on Twitter and like there's a whole like Twitch website now where it's like, does the streamer stream that that wizard game? And like that is so fucking ridiculous, man. Like that is, God, man, if someone were to just maybe doesn't even follow all this stuff and just bought this game and say, I'm gonna stream it, and all of a sudden they have all these people coming into their live chat just calling them names and calling them a horrible person, like, God, man, like, again, like you can do that if you want to and if you choose to. And I don't think buying this game and playing it is anti-trans and you're transphobic and stuff like that. I think you can just enjoy the game for what it is, because I mean, I've said this before, I guarantee you there's, at every little studio you love, there's someone that's a real dirtbag that has probably said worse things than what J.K. Rowling says, not just about the trans community, but about any community, whether it's race, gender, whatever, has said horrible things. Not every company is going to have, a saint of people that work there. That's just impossible. So I know it's a hard conversation to have, but man, like, just if people want to support the game and play it, they grew up on Harry Potter and they love it, and maybe, hey, yeah, it sucks that the writer is not a great person and has these bad thoughts, but I love what she created, and I want to be in that universe, and I think that's okay.
Yeah, that's well said. Yeah, I don't know, it just seems like a very carefully crafted game.
Yeah,
it just feels like it was made with a lot of heart. And even though, like, I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan.
Yeah,
and
like,
I'm not super excited about this game, but I can see like that a lot of love went into it, and people are really passionate about making this game, and it sounds like it's like the Harry Potter game that people have always wanted.
Yeah,
and now it's being, whoever plays it is being painted as in support of J.K. Rowling, and it's simply just not true.
Yeah, I mean,
like you said, like you can't go around and cherry pick studios to boycott, because all of them have their own problems that you might not know about. Every company, like outside of video games, every single company has something.
Yeah. And
you can't just go, like, you can't live your life trying to boycott everything, trying to, I don't know. You gotta have a little bit of bliss.
Yeah.
A little bit of ignorance.
I mean, I did a video on it not too long ago about my just initial thoughts, and you go on Twitter and you bash these people for wanting to buy it. You're using an iPhone that's made in China at a sweatshops. Like, where do you draw the line? Like, you know what I mean? It's like you said, you can't cherry pick this stuff. You've got to either be in support of everything or nothing, and it's just it's hard, and I get it, but man, like you said, just you gotta have some bliss. You gotta it's okay to enjoy some things, even if the creator is a horrible person, or the original creator is a horrible person, or if there's one person on the studio that's a horrible person, are you gonna chastise like 500 people and the 501 person is horrible? Like, come on, like, what do you?
Yeah, it's kind of like Moon Studios.
Yeah,
they had a lot of bad stuff come out about their team, but I still love their game.
Yeah, I still love it.
I love Ori.
I still love Ori, and we'll likely play another one if they do something else. But again, like, if you want to support that stuff, and that's your passion, do it. but man, just to yell at people on the internet because they just want to play it because it looks cool. Like that's totally fine.
Yeah, don't you can have your beliefs, you can boycott whatever you want, and it doesn't really like you can do whatever you want. Just don't make people feel shitty
Yeah.
if they're not taking the same stance and they're really excited about something because they're excited about it, not because, oh well, I'm in support of J.K. Rowling or anything like that. It's like, no, it's like you can be excited for the game,
Yeah.
and it's as simple
It's
as
fine.
that.
Yeah.
You can be excited for a game without taking a stance.
Yeah.
And maybe some people disagree with me, and that's also fine.
Yeah,
But
and I think that's where like 90%, like 95% of like people were coming from, and then all of a sudden, they're getting attacked on the internet, and they're like, you know what, I'm buying the deluxe edition now. Like just funny stuff like that. I've laughed a lot in the last couple of weeks with Twitter, not just on that, just all this.
Twitter's been on one, dude.
Yeah.
On one for the past few weeks. 2023, really.
Yeah, I've I logged on Twitter maybe twice today, and didn't really. I knew as soon as the reviews dropped and the game was doing well, like reviewing well, I was like, I'm gonna stay off of this for the most part today. I'll check back in like every few hours just to see if there's like a Nintendo Direct drop or something announcement, but that was about it.
Yeah.
But before we go, Nick, I want to. I mean, tomorrow, it feels like all the eggs are coming together in that basket, and the stars are aligning, and we're getting a Direct announcement.
You think so? You think Mr. Doug Browser is going to grace us with his presence for a Nintendo Direct?
I feel like we're getting it tomorrow, an announcement, and then it'll air on Wednesday.
I don't know, man, because we get Nintendo financials tonight.
Yeah.
Get some sales figures. I just don't know if they're going to pair those two together with their 9 months earning release with a Nintendo Direct. But maybe that's a good idea. I don't know. I'm excited though. I feel like
I'm very excited. I am Nintingled out right now. I'm just waiting to hear.
There has been a lot of like little signs pointing towards it.
Yeah, like the listings and stuff, and like the Pikmin, the weird. I don't know about Pikmin. That release date, like sometime in May, like that doesn't make any sense. Like, why would they release that close to Zelda? Like,
there is no shot. That's like them taking Pikmin out to the backyard. And
yeah, that feels like a July, maybe August game, like a summer game for sure for that. But
that would just be cruel.
Yeah,
to do that to Pikmin.
Exactly.
I don't know. I think it's possible that we get a Direct this week. I
just want to see Zelda, man. I want to know more about that game. Like it's crazy that we're 3 months out and we know nothing.
Yeah.
And I know they don't need to show it, and I know they're going to keep everything pretty close to their chest, but gosh, man, I want to see it. I want to see it so bad.
Do you think it'll sell more than Breath of the Wild?
Oh, man. Breath of the Wild's what, like 29, 28 million? Something like that?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't think it will.
I don't think it will.
Unless it's better, like objectively better than Breath of the Wild.
I just think when the Switch came out, obviously it was coming out right after like just the Wii U, and people just wanted something more, and it launched with Zelda.
Came out hot.
Yeah, it came out. I mean, it was. I think like the crazy story was they were selling more units of Zelda than the Switches at the time.
That was such a funny story.
Which is crazy. So, I mean, I think it'll sell very well. Obviously, you know, the sequel to arguably one of the greatest games of all time. I mean, I think it'll sell just gangbusters. So,
and like, I guess you have that 115 million install base, but like, why haven't they picked up the original Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's one of those zeitgeist things, and
missed it.
Everyone will get caught up in Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah,
that's
very true. And then if they don't launch like a new Switch until 2024, or like late 2024, like fall, like maybe that'll just get people to, all right, well, they're not launching a new Switch. Let me go ahead and buy this.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, before we wrap up, I know we talked a lot about the directs and our predictions. What's one thing that you want to see from this direct, other than Zelda.
Other than Zelda?
Yeah.
Metroid Prime.
Metroid Prime?
Yeah.
Okay. Like Metroid Prime 4 or Metroid Prime Remake?
Either one.
Either one.
Just
something
anything.
Metroid.
There can't be one without the other. Actually, if they were to show off Metroid Prime Remake, they have to say something about Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
They don't have to do the opposite.
I think it's very very likely that we'll see remake first. And I think if they show it here, they'll announce it. It'll come out this year, and then they'll say, "Hey, Prime 4 news coming out later this year," and then we'll maybe get it at like September, like the September direct. I'm not convinced that they're going to have a June direct this year.
I don't know, because they did it. They did it last year.
Yeah, and then with the reports of them not having, they were going to show up at E3, but decided not to because they didn't have anything like big for the latter half of the year. They may have like just a direct mini or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
I mean, I was gonna say Metroid too, man. I just want to play more Metroid.
I think there was also like a Golden Sun rumor.
I did hear about that, and I would like to play those because I never played those before, so I don't have that nostalgia. I think Advance Wars. I think we get Shadow dropped. I think that's gonna happen.
Yeah. I would love to see like a Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Because I never played that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Metroid's my answer too. Something Metroid, more likely Metroid Prime. And I think it comes out really soon. I think we get like a July release date or August or something like that. Like really soon.
Yeah, because for a remake, you don't need that long of a lead period.
No. And then obviously if we're gonna, it's kind of cheating, but not the Zelda game itself. But I want to see some more amiibos. I need some new Zelda amiibos.
Yeah, I'm gonna be all in on any amiibos.
Well, the rumor is they're supposed to be reprinting a lot or reissuing a lot of the original Breath of the Wild amiibos. So hopefully they add just brand new ones too, but we'll see.
Yeah, I wonder if that means that there'll be a heavy focus.
Like in the game. Oh, you talking about
in Tears of the Kingdom.
Heroes?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea what the story's gonna
be.
We
don't know shit about this game.
Yeah. Well, we might know in 2 days, Nick. We might know.
Yeah. Well.
All right. Well, that is going to wrap up the show, everyone. We appreciate everyone tuning in live here and obviously listening in on the audio. Please let us know your predictions on Twitter, all that good stuff. We'd love to hear it. And obviously, and if they do announce the direct this week, and it's time wise is feasible, we'll definitely do like a live reaction to it.
Oh yeah.
And that'll be super exciting. So Nick, where can they follow us on all of our stuff?
You can follow us on Twitter at GamingWTBros. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at GamingWithTheBrosCast. And if you want to email us any questions, you can do so at gamingwiththebros@yahoo.com.
Sweet. All right, guys. Well, we hope everyone has a wonderful week. Hype responsibly for this direct. It's probably not going to be the greatest thing ever since sliced bread, but I mean, we're going to get Zelda, so that's
Zelda.
Hype enough.
Fire Emblem DLC, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 DLC, Mario Sports, Mario Baseball, probably.
Mario's baseball.
Mario's baseball. Advance Wars.
Did you see the one? Oh, sorry to cut you off. Did you see the one leak that people were saying? Like it was like the most absurd.
Oh yeah, like it was like timestamps too.
Yeah, it was like it's.
Oh, there was like Dark Souls 2 and 3.
Yeah, which I agree. I think they're going to start with Zelda. I don't think they end with Zelda. They're going to start with Zelda. But it was like Zelda. I don't know what Trails in the Sky is. Batman Arkham Collection for Switch, which I don't think that's going to be able to run on the Switch. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Cloud version. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Kid Icarus, Descendants.
Bro, this is a wish list.
Yeah, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 Ultimate, Dark Souls, Skull of the First Sin, and Dark Souls 3, Nier Replicant, Shin Megami Tensei 4, Donkey Kong Country Kremlin Chaos. I don't know where that name came from.
I don't know what that is.
Jedi Fallen Order. No way.
Maybe that could run.
You think it could run on the Switch? Good or well?
No, it'll be like
Cloud
720p.
version. Mario Kart 8 DLC Pack 4. Yeah, I think we'll get that. Guilty Gear Strive. Then it says Zelda themed Switch. Metroid Prime 4, and then Project SNS. I don't know what that refers to, but
also, why would they space out the Zelda trailer in the special edition?
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff on Twitter. People just like, oh, if it looks like a direct image with white text, it's legit, and people are losing their mind. Like I saw one, it was like the Last of Us collection on the Switch. I was like, what the hell, man? I was like, you guys are
Halo
losing
coming
your
to the
minds.
Switch.
I could see Halo coming to the Switch.
I can see Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, that would actually be really cool. Like, you know, because I knew there was like the reports about Xbox trying to get the Game Pass app on the Switch a few years ago, but that obviously fell through. But anyways, hype responsibly, and
yes, very responsibly.
We'll see you guys next Monday.
Hopefully not a farming simulator direct.
God, please. Maybe that's what they'll show. Hey, you can now farm in Zelda.
Shut your mouth.
All right, guys.
Bye-bye. They add like dating simulator elements to Zelda.
Oh, dude, no.
They add like a hub that you have to go around and talk to everybody.
Stop. Just stop. Yeah, just nonsense.
It'll be fun
On Twitter. Just absolute nonsense I've seen.
Yeah.
With the direct. I don't know. I think about 10 o'clock tomorrow we'll see an announcement.
I think 10 o'clock.
About 10 o'clock. About 10 a.m.
Okay. I'll hold you to it. I'll text you at 10:01.
Where's it at? All right, Bruce, I'm gonna get off here and edit this thing up, and I don't know.
All right, man.
Just try to stay non-tingly.
Hey, keep those tingles a day.
All right.